Hi, it's Sunday morning and I've got several pieces, well, more than several pieces from this weekend. Some of it came out of the kiln this morning, some of it came out of the kiln yesterday morning. So I used this mold for the very first time, and I wasn't exactly sure what I was doing, which is going to be quite obvious. And I ended up with this. Um, you have to really see it to kind of believe what it is. So what I started to do was I started to write on it, and it was supposed to read cracked glass, which is my business. And I did it in glue. So I wrote cracked glass in glue, and then I put powdered frit over it. And when it dried, it didn't dry very clearly. And of course, my handwriting isn't all that great anyway, so it wasn't that great. And I left it too long, so I couldn't get it off very well. So then I readjusted my thinking, left it, and used the other side, and I made a kind of frame. And it's just a test, so I wasn't that worried about the whole thing. So the other side was the frame, and I put it in. Like I said, I wasn't thinking very much, and I didn't contemplate very hard, if at all, how much I needed of the glass to fold over onto the other side. Well, apparently, not as much as there was, because it melted too much and hit the floor of the kiln. Not to worry, because I had paper there, or fire paper. But so now it sits oddly, and it won't sit flat. So I'd have to, if I do this again, I'd have to think through how much glass can overlap, so that it doesn't melt to the floor of the kiln. So I can either, if I wanted, score this, break it off, and then it will sit correctly rather than being tilted because of too much glass here. But that's if I thought that much of this piece to do that, and I don't. So, but I might do it just to do it to see how it turns out. So going on to other things, if you were with me when I did a video on two things that didn't work out well at all, this was one of them, because the execution was terrible, but it was just this flat thing and I didn't like it at all. But I decided to put it in a bowl, and it's much nicer. Still an atrocious execution of glass, but it's better as a bowl. So there's that. Then I did that piece on the tornado mold, and so that turned out much better. And this is the piece. Tornado mold isn't going to get tossed out. It's still not my favorite mold, but that's probably because of me, the so-called artist. I'm sure there are much better execution of the mold than I've done, but this is far better, and I'm not unhappy with that. Then I did other things that I really do like, and this I did in a mold, and I think it's beautiful. The color just comes out in the light, which you can't see as well, but there it is, and I love these. Then I did a couple of coasters, which I'm selling, so I have to replace. So this came out again with the reactive glass. This is another one I did. Again, I like that. And then this will get slumped into a trinket dish, just a little 3x3. I'll show you how that turns out. And then this I showed before, after I full fused it. Now I put it into a mold, and I love these. So that turned out well. And then I did a bigger, in the same style, in a bigger piece, which I will slump into a little dish. That came out well. And this, quite large, a 12 by 12, love this piece, and may or may not slump. I'm not sure I even have anything this big to slump. But this came out into a piece I love. So if I slump it, I will show you how that turns out. And thank you for bearing with me on all my endeavors. Any comments, suggestions, as always, I welcome them. And thanks for sticking with me.